Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Radical Richard, and I am a mad scientist. Not mad, I'm like angry, not that kind of mad, but mad, I'm like I'm crazy. Just crazy about science. And so I have lots of really cool stuff to show for you guys today. Now, before we get started, it looks like I'm about to do a magic show, doesn't it? But this isn't magic, this is science. So, for a demonstration of the difference between the two, I'm going to attempt to do a magic trick. I have right here my magic bag. Ooh. And right here, I have a piece of rope. Now watch, as I take this piece of rope, I put it in the bag, just like that. You see it's inside the bag? Yeah. Everyone can see that. Okay. Now, watch. As I wave my fingers over the bag, and I say the magic words, Raxacorcopalapatorius, and it's disappeared. Thank you very much. See? It's not in there. See? It's not in there. Oh, you want to see inside the bag? See? 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 Turn it inside out. The bag is completely inside out. We'll do the magic words again, and then we'll flip it back inside out, and we'll see what happens. Okay, here we go. Raxacorcopalapatorius. Now, do you know what the most important rule of magic is? No, never mess up. You never reveal the secret of how the magic trick was done. So kids, you want to know how I did that? Yeah! No? Oh, good, because I'm not going to tell you. However, all this over here is not magic, it's science. Therefore, I can tell you exactly how it's done. Now, first of all, I'm going to adjust this. Make it a little bit taller, since I'm tall. And we're going to stay. Okay, so we're going to leave it down like this, and I'm just going to be shorter. Okay, now, my first demonstration is this right here. Yes, it is a soda bottle. Is it empty? Is it really empty? There's more than oxygen. There's air in here. Oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, all the gases. It is filled with gases. It doesn't have any liquid, but it's filled with air. What do you think would happen to this bottle if we removed the air? It would fall? It would be empty? Well, I've got this little nozzle on here, so I can put my lips to it, and I'm going to remove the air with my mouth. What happened? What did the bottle do? It crumbled, it got crushed, didn't it? And I fill it back over there, and back to normal. Now, what do you suppose does that? What makes the bottle crush when you remove the air? Do you know? But what causes it to crush? In the back, in the orange shorts. That's right. I take the air out, but something else has to crush it. And that's called air pressure. Now imagine, if you will, you had a bowling ball. A 15-pound bowling ball. Like that one right there on the stage. Pick up that bowling ball. And then you, like this, and you balance the bowling ball on the end of your nose. That would hurt, wouldn't it? If you had a bowling ball on the end of your nose. That's a lot of pressure in one spot. But that is how many pounds of pressure per square inch on your body. Every square inch on your body. That's how many pounds of pressure of air is pushing on your body. But why don't we get squished like that bottle? Any guesses? You have a guess, sir? How about the young man behind you? What do you think? Well, not pushing away, but you're on the right track. You have air pushing all around you. It's called equal pressure. So, in the case of this bottle, there's air on the inside pushing and air on the outside pushing. And so, therefore, it's equal. So, it keeps its shape. But if I remove air from one side, the air on the outside then crushes the bottle. For another demonstration of that, I have this. I actually have two of these. And only one of them was used. Fortunately, I know which one it was. It was one that was on my right-hand side. So I'm going to grab this other one. I got to lick the end first. The blue one was on my left, and the dirty one was on my right. And when I squeeze the two halves together, all the air that's in on the inside gets squeezed out. And therefore the air in this room actually holds them together. Now, these plungers, these suction cups don't have a perfect seal. Therefore, air can slowly leak back in, and then the pressure is released, and they fall apart. Now, I have this right here. This is hard plastic, but it's also like a giant suction cup in a way. This is called a Mandelberg sphere. That's a big word, isn't it? Mandelberg? Well, it comes from a German city called, oddly enough, Mandelberg, where it was invented. And it was invented by a German scientist by the name of Otto von Guericke. Otto von Guericke. He was the man that invented the suction pump, or the vacuum pump. which is this right here. This is a handheld vacuum pump. And as I squeeze this, it pulls air through this hole, through this hose, and out this little hole. And right now, it's not really doing anything other than pulling air through the hose and out the hole. But you see it has this little dial. Well, this is what Von Gerke did. He attached one of these to a big metal sphere, and he removed all the air from inside the sphere. And no one could pull it apart. It was amazing. No one had ever seen such a thing. Well, the Emperor of Germany at the time, he heard about this, and he wanted to see it. And he challenged Von Gerke. He said, I bet you my 6 best horses could pull the sphere apart. Because this is a big one. It wasn't a little one. It was a big brass sphere. So, Von Gerke made a rig so he had 3 big horses on one side, 3 big horses on the other side. He removed all the air, and those horses, they pull! And they pull! But they couldn't get the spheres to break apart. Now I'm going to show you exactly what that was like with my little one here. First, as you can see, if I put the 2 halves together, they come right apart. Just that easy. I'm going to put the hose on here. There we go. I've got this little dial right here. This will tell me when it reaches 15 pounds of pressure per square inch. When it does that, that means all the air from inside has been removed. All right, there we go. And I'm going to flip the switch. I keep the air from rushing back into the hole, and I cannot open it. My face is getting wet. Here you go, let me give it a shot. I can't let everyone try because we don't have enough time. So if I don't let you try, please remember, it's not because I don't think you're cool or not possible. We'll come over here. Can you get it? Can't get it? Okay. Well, one more try. One more try. Okay. Now you can see. Oh my goodness.
You let the air out.
I did. I'd be seeing. Yeah. I'd be able to see. I flipped the switch. The air rushes back in there, equalizing pressure. And that it could fall apart again. Pretty amazing, isn't it? That's pretty amazing. You got all this air that's pushing down on us at all times, but yet you don't even feel it. But has anyone ever ridden inside of an airplane? A couple people? I try not to because I get airsick. But you know, when you fly up in a plane, your ears start to pop. That's because there's less air pressure. That's why your ears are popping. It's trying to equalize the pressure. And it's very uncomfortable feeling too, isn't it? All right, well, we're going to move right along. Another here. Now, I wasn't always a mad scientist. Now, I used to have another job. And in this other job, I worked around animals. Animals like tigers, and hippos, and elephants, and baboons. But it wasn't a zoo. Because we moved from city to city every week on a train. The circus, that is right. I used to work for a little circus, you guys might have heard of it. It recently closed last month. It was called the Ringling Brothers and Bonham and Bailey Circus. Yeah. And in the circus, of course, like I said, we had elephants. And we also had clowns and acrobats. We also had dancers. And actually still have one of the dancers' shoes. Because when I left the show, she said, it's an ancient Ukrainian custom to give performers a shoe when you leave. Okay. So, I have one of her shoes. Now, what would you rather get stepped on by? A 1,000-pound elephant or a 100-pound Ukrainian dancing in S.T.R.E.A.M? The shoe? Or the elephant? Okay, well, we're going to give that a little test. I have right here these indestructible plastic cups. $50 a cup off of eBay. Now watch how indestructible they are. I'm going to stand. I'm 165 pounds. I'm going to stand on top of this cup and it's not going to break. It broke! I think I got ripped off. No, it's not indestructible. No, I just been goofy. It's not indestructible. It's just a regular plastic cup. And my 165 pounds crushed it flat and tore it all apart. Well, let's try something a bit different. Let's see here. Let's see. I need a little kid to help me out. A little one. Let's see here. Kind of a small. Kind of small. Would you like to help me out? What's your name? Tiana? Is she your friend? Excellent. Tiana, let's come right on up here. Okay, be very careful. Alright, I'm going to slide my table back a bit. Okay, Tiana, because this is what we're going to do. Alright, I'm going to take a bunch of these cups and I'm going to lay them out. Just like this. One on the side. Painted on the stage. Most of them, yes. Nope, that's a Leon. Stop drawing! No! Okay, now I'm going to take my case. Put it right on top of it. A few items. Let's see. There we go. That corner there. Okay. Now, Tiana, this is what I want you to do. I want you to hold your arms out just like that and say, I can fly. I can fly. On the count of three, stand right here. On the count of three, we're going to jump up. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, jump. They didn't break. Okay, 1, 2, 3, come down. And there we go. Most of the cups are okay. How about that? Thank you very much, Tiana. You can go back and have a seat. You got it? Now, why did you suppose, even with our cage and Tiana's weight on her, the cups didn't get crushed? A couple did, but not all of them. Not all of them. Because the weight was evenly distributed. It wasn't just one cup holding up all our weight. It was all the cups. So they had a bigger surface area. So instead of all on one item, it got spread out. They shared the load. Now, can you think of something that would do that? That would hold something up to share the load? What do you think? A crane? Not close. What do you think, sir? Not an excavator. Something that you might be in. A chair? A chair, that's right. Because you got 4 legs on a chair. If you had 1 leg on a chair, for 1, you'd fall over. For 2, it might not be able to hold you up very well. Yes, young man in the red. Yes. An elevator? Well, that pulls you up and down, but how about what's inside? What is the elevator inside? Now what's the elevator sign? Now machine. I heard over here what? Begins with the letter B? Oh, over here, building. That's right. You have buildings. You ever go inside the mall and you see all these columns inside the mall, like when you're in JCPenney's? Well, those columns are holding up the ceiling. They're holding up the floor. They're keeping the building from collapsing on itself. Because if they didn't have those columns there, the roof would cave in. Because it'd just be the columns on the outside and it wouldn't be enough. Yes, sir. Anyone? Do you have a question? A stage? Well, I'm sure the stage, actually, from looking at it, I can see some screws that have supports that go along this way, kind of flat along the stage, and there are probably legs holding it up too. So yes, very good. All right, so we're going to move along. First, I'm going to clean out my mess. Here we go. I'm going to try to sing like clean up my mess. Da 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 da. Let it go, let it go. I don't know the lyrics anymore. Let it go, let it go. I know. Frozen is one of my favorite movies, right, guys? You know all Frozen? Now, my favorite movie is actually Star Wars. Because when I was a kid, hey guys, what number one? What number one? My favorite movie was actually Star Wars. And so when I was a kid, I either wanted to be in the circus or I wanted to be in Star Wars. Then Return of the Jedi came out, which was supposed to be the last Star Wars movie. So I ran away to join the circus. And while I was with the circus, they made a new Star Wars movie. I was after being born under that song. 20 years ago yesterday, they started filming on episode 1. I know that because I'm a nerd. Because 1 is Star Wars 2 is my birthday. Alright, so moving right along. Let me ask you guys a question. What were the names of the first 2 men to fly? In the red. The Wright brothers. That is a very good guess. However, it was a trick question. The Wright brothers were the first 2 men to fly in a heavier-than-air aircraft. But they were not the first 2 men to fly. No, the first 2 men to fly, like the Wright brothers, were brothers, but they didn't fly in an airplane. What do you suppose they flew in? Not a helicopter. Helicopters were invented after airplanes. And logo in red. Yes. Well, what was the aircraft called? No, not an airplane. The Wright brothers invented the airplane. Oh, over here, young man. What's that? A jet? No, jets were invented well after. Okay. Over here. Young man in the navy blue shirt. A hot air balloon. That is correct. Yes, the first men to fly were the Montgolfier brothers in Paris, France in 1781. And they flew in a hot air balloon. And among some of the people that were there to witness this historical event of man's first flight were future presidents John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, who were ambassadors at the time for France. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Now, for this one, I need 2 helpers, 2 kind of tall helpers this time. Okay, you're good, tall. And get a girl. You got tall. Now, what is your name, sir? Les. And what is your name, sweetie? Lala? Okay, now bless Lala, this is what I want you to do. Okay, I want you to stand right over here. Lala, you stand right there. Bless, you stand right here. Very good. And look, you're all matched. Excellent. Okay, now I have right here this plastic laundry bag from Dry Cleaners. Jesse donated presented to us by Bandos for all your dry cleaning needs. That's a commercial. All right, God bless. I want you to hold on to this corner. And I'll let you hold on that corner. I can use it. There. And I have this. This is a hot air gun. And with this, you're going to fill the bag with some hot air. I may already see something happening. Air is getting inside the bag. You guys, you can hold it out. You can get your arms out. Like arms for your feet. There we go. You guys feel the air getting warmer? Alright. Almost a little bit more. And then on the count of 3, we're going to let it go. 1, the hot air. That's right, the hot air caused it to rise. Now this is what the Montgolfier brothers discovered. This is what the Montgolfier brothers discovered because they worked in the shop where they used a lot of heat. They would have a big raging fire and a bag that they had lying around got filled with hot air and it rose to the ceiling of their workshop. And they thought, hey, if I would do that with a little bag, what would happen if we had a big bag? And so they made a big bag and then a big raging bonfire and all the heat filled it up and it actually caused it to rise. And they had this hot air balloon. That's how they invented the hot air balloon. And it used to be a big deal in Paris, France. Everyone loved hot air balloons. In fact, I'm sure if you looked at the old paintings from that time period, you see these women with these big white wigs and they had these big hairdos and stuff. They were based on the shape of a hot air balloon. The hot air balloons were in vogue, they were fashioned. Alright, so Montgolfier brothers discovered that the hot air, because hot air is less dense than cold air. Hot air rises. Cold air is lower down to the ground. That's why the air sometimes feels a little bit cooler when you lay down on the floor than when you're standing up. Now when you're outside and hot air rises, what do you think happens? What do you think that makes? Well, it's already air, but what does it cause the air to do? When the hot air rises, it can't just leave an empty space. Something's got to fill its place, right? The cold air rushes in to fill its place. Can you guys feel that? You can. That's called wind. When you feel all that wind, that's because there's hot air that's rising, cool air is rushing in to fill its place, and it moves all around. And this happens constantly all around the planet. That causes the wind currents, all the wind circulation and everything. Now I have, oh, it's right over here. I have this right here. Now this is called my vortex generator. Now do you all know what a vortex is? A real vortex, not the sci-fi vortex. Not like Portal or, traveling through time or anything like that. A real vortex. You might know it as another weather phenomenon that begins with the letter T. We had one out in my neighborhood last month. Tornado, that's right. Yeah, a tornado hit on Greenbrier last month, tore down a church. It was very scary. I missed it by about 2 minutes. Okay, yeah. Now this here generates something similar to a tornado. It's a vortex. Now you won't be able to see it, but you will be able to feel it. trash can, I have a hole that's cut out. And of course the trash can is filled with air. Much like my soda bottle, it's filled with air. So, at the top, I have a shower curtain that's tied with the bungee cord. When I hit this like a drum, it forces the air that's inside here out of that little hole. And when the air hits the edge, it spins around. And it's kind of like it's rushing out, and then inside the edge, it goes, whoa! Now, if you had a way to see that, you would see that it makes a perfect circle. And it's really neat. If only there was a way I could show you that. Perhaps I do. Nope. That is my smoke machine. I'm going to fill it with smoke. That's right, guys. Sometimes science is not an exact science. We try our best, though. I'm sorry, guys. My smoke machine's failing. I've had a technical malfunction. It's just eking out a little bit of smoke, but not enough. But what it'll do is it would make smoke rain. That looks really cool. Nah, sorry. But I can do something else that's equally as cool. I have this right here. This is a big water bottle. Of course, it's filled with air. I'm going to add something else to it. Now inside this little measuring cup, I have 15 milliliters of ethanol. Ethanol is made from corn, and it is highly flammable. That means it catches fire very easily. Now this is 5 gallons. This is a 5-gallon water jug with 15 milliliters of ethanol. I don't want it to be a liquid, I want it to be a gas. To do that, I have to spin it around. I don't want it to be a liquid, I want it to evaporate and fill this entire container with ethanol fumes. ethanol. We do not play with fire. Put that ethanol over there. Rule number one, you don't want to miss this, guys. You ready? Be very, very quiet. Now what do you guys see? You saw fire, and it was a full flame, wasn't it? And now, it's actually made water inside there too. A little bit of water condensation. Which means I can't do that experiment again because it has to be completely dry on the inside. So I have to let it dry. So, but what happened was, now all the gas, all those air molecules, the ethanol, it had a chain reaction because the ethanol was very flammable. So, one molecule burst into flames. The molecule next to it burst into flames. The molecule next to that burst into flames. And so on and so forth until all the molecules quickly burned away. That is called a chain reaction. Now, if I just poured some of this liquid onto my table and set it on fire, it would just burn just a little, and then the fire would go out because the fire would use up all the liquid. But in here, it had a contained explosion. And that's actually what causes explosions. You ever watch a movie where there's a car chase and one car crashes into another and then explodes in a big fireball? Most of the time that can't happen. Because it's not the liquid gasoline that explodes, it's the fumes. The gas vapors. That's the dangerous part. That's what explodes. That's why when you're at the gas station and you see there's no smoking signs, that's why it's very important. If you see someone smoking at a gas station, you need to tell them to stop. Because they can blow stuff up. It's very dangerous. I got one more demonstration. I have this right here. Toilet paper. Now, we talked about hot air boilers, the Montgolfier brothers. Well, it was a little over 120 some odd years later that heavier than air flight was discovered by the Wright brothers. Not too far from here in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Now, the Wright brothers discovered how to make airplanes fly. And that is because of the shape of the wings. Now, notice the shape of this roll of toilet paper. What shape is it? It's circle, it's round. Watch what happens when I blow air over the top. It floats, yes, it rises up. This is called lift. What happens is that as I blow air over the top of the toilet paper, the air pressure is less dense than the air at the bottom. So the air at the bottom forces the toilet paper to move up. And this is how airplanes fly. Because if you look at the shape of an airplane wing, it's round at the top, but flat on the bottom. So as the airplane flies through the air goes over the top, and then the air at the bottom, which is more dense, lifts it up. That's why last week you might have heard in the news that in Phoenix, it got so hot that some aircraft said that they couldn't fly. Because those aircraft needed more dense air. Remember, hot air is less dense than cold air. And this particular aircraft, which is like a little tiny jet, wasn't able to actually take off and fly. It could go as fast as it could possibly go, but it wasn't going to go up in the air because it was just too darn hot. Now, we have another demonstration for this. Let's see, I need one more helper. Let's see, all right? Batman! Hey, what is this? Potato. Give me some goggles to wear. Good. but towards them. There you go. All right. There you go. I'm going to blow. Let's see what happens. Nothing happens. Nothing spectacular. We need something more powerful. To fly. And now you know how airplanes fly. Now, would you guys like to do some more hands-on science? Well, you guys are going to get your chance tomorrow. You get to do some hands-on science. So now you guys got some really exciting to look forward to. Are you guys excited? Oh, you guys are excited. Are you guys excited? Thank you very much, guys. My name is S.T.R.E.A.M. I'm with Mad Science. We also do birthday parties. So if you got a birthday coming up, party your parents.